So with that one where talking about the village raising the child, I totally agree with that. But I think in this society where we are, when we hear that, it's really about, to correct the child and to rebuke the child when the child goes wrong. But for me, it's beyond that. I think, a village raising the child is the village and the people taking responsibility for any child. And when I say child, it's any person below the age of 18. And so what it means is, for example, if you suspect, a child being labored, or if you suspect a child being trafficked, or you suspect, violence in home, it means you lending a voice for that child. It means you, standing up for that child. So I'm going to give a scenario of going into one of the communities where my organization works in. And I saw this child in the alley, who was beat to pulp by his parent. And this child was bleeding from the head. But this child must have been in that alley for, say about 15 minutes just playing. But people passed there, nobody said anything. I walked through that alley, saw the child, and immediately called the attention of the person had gone to visit. And I said, no, but this guy, this child was not far to you. How come nobody attended to it? So, a village, looking after a child or raising a child, for me would mean that anyone who walked past that child, would have raised an alarm, would have done something about it.
Or would have stopped the child being beaten to a pulp.
To a pulp, exactly. But he said, oh, this child has cerebral palsy, and the mother, he's like an
discriminating against the child because of a condition that the child didn't come.
So, for me, it's beyond just correcting the child or, telling the child what is right or wrong. But it's really we as adults taking ownership and being responsible for children, for a child.
Okay, I mean, let's look at the issue of child marriages. I mean, we had Ese Oruru in the news, and she recently was delivered of a baby. And there was a lot of stories going around, whether it was consensual or whether it was she had to run away or she was kidnapped. But, I mean, you can't help but wonder, like, what were the parents doing? Why did it take so long before this came up? So what can parents do to protect their children?
On that, I'll say that one thing I realized is adults forget they were once children. The adults, we have this, they forget once that they were children. For the child of that, the mother of that child, she forgot she was young. If she had been married off at a very young age, probably she wouldn't be still in the father's house and achieved what she has achieved. But in Lagos State, last year, the African child, a bill was passed, and to the governor of Lagos State, and it's a crime officially now in Lagos State to marry off any child. Any case of child marriage in Lagos State is a crime. In Lagos State, child marriage is a crime.
And these are some of the things you're doing as Speaker in the Children's Parliament.
So we deliberate and make laws, pass the bill to the Lagos State governor, and once decided it becomes a law, to make the average Nigerian child in Lagos State better.
Yeah, I like, children taking responsibility, and it's only children that can know where the shoe pinches.
The children.
It's he who wears the shoe knows where it pinches. So, still on the issue of child marriage, what do you think can be done?
I think beyond, so there's the convention and the Child's Right Act, which obviously the federal government has signed, and they've signed for it to be domesticated, and this was signed in 2013. But so far, it's just been about 16 states out of 36 that have enacted this. But so I think that there's still so much more that needs to be done. We need to prioritize child rights. We need to prioritize, protecting this right. And I think every state needs to do this. So there's still so much work that needs to be done with regards advocacy and driving these policies. Because until these laws are enacted and until we adopt them fully, we won't be able to facilitate the judicial processes, towards protecting the rights of the children.
Okay. As we come to an end of this segment and the show, what is the one thing that you want for the Nigerian child? Like, if you could have 5 minutes with the president, what is that one thing that he needs to start doing to protect the Nigerian child?
One, if I had 5 minutes with the president and what she do for the Nigerian child, one is basic education, and two is security.
So the Nigerian child should be educated, quality education.
Quality education. Basic quality education and security.
Security, the Nigerian child should
because
feel
an average
protected.
Nigerian child is vulnerable.
Yeah.
So an average Nigerian child should be protected and well educated. Because when a child lives in the environment where he feels secured. He trusts everybody. He can trust anyone in society. And when you have any problem, it could come out. And when it comes out with a problem, if say a problem shared is a problem half solved. So when it comes out with a problem, different advices from trusted individuals, so the child knows and understands where to go and how to go about it.
Okay. I think those are very important, because if a child does not feel safe and does not feel secure, the child might be suffering and not be able to speak out. And then that just continues.
Problem, and it grows with it and becomes what
passes on
to the next generation.
What about you, Folawe?
For me, it has to be quality education. And so when I say quality, it has to be an education that will equip the child with the necessary skill set, you know, relevant to our context.
Life skills.
You know, so the life skills that will be relevant to the Nigerian context. And so also the skills that would make that child, you know, be productive, like to support the growth and development of Nigeria and beyond, and to also support their family. So it has to be education that translates to some sort of success. You know, education and, you know, quality education that prepares the child for life. Exactly. And so for me, that's key. Security is another one, because we need to ensure that we have a safe environment for these children to be nurtured and for them to thrive. You know, so quality education is one. But then I like to say that, you know, quality education borders on a lot. Like, once education is done, expressing themselves easily, you know, will be much easier. You know, standing up and saying for themselves will also be easier.
But everything has to be a
You
secured
know,
environment.
Education and security. Thank you so much, Daniel Toby. And thank you, Folawe, for joining us on Rubbin Minds. Well, there you have it. We've celebrated Democracy Day and looked at Children's Day. I'm Isabella Akinshare. And next week, Ebuka Obiojine will be back on Rubbin Minds. Bye-bye.
We represent.